allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Vator games.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Vator games in the building. You know what it is. First things first, my peoples come first. My people, those that are here, no longer here, thought of and always remember. Guys, girls, men, women, I thought I'd know where to start for this match reaction. And I'm first say this. We got a lot of work. We've got a lot of work in front of us. A lot of work in front of us. Because the last two performances do not build on confidence with regards to accomplishing a goal and winning the trophy that we all want. Winning that Prem. That, in all honesty, we've played like we don't deserve. We've shown glimpses, but not the consistency, and we need to get back to it. But let me ask all of you in the chat, do what you got to do when you show up, all right? You're in my house now. When you come into the house, please take your shoes off. When you come into the house, hit that like button, right? If you want something, right, don't be shy. Drop a comment. You're in my house right now. You want something? Ask. I'll get it for you. You want something from the fridge? I'll go get it. You want something from the cupboard? I'll go get it. You want something? Drop a comment. Be a part of the show. I'm going to say this. My match reaction with regards to United was one of complete sadness and disappointment because it was a derby and I expected the players to show up for the derby. I did not expect the players not to show up for another game, being a UCL match, being quote-unquote against lesser competition, being in conditions -2, -3, whatever. Regardless, we are to play and we are to dictate play no matter where we go, and we're not showing that as of late. I'm going to discuss it. I'm going to go into detail. But what I like to do each and every time, first time in the show, when I kick off the show, I have to show love. I have to show love to the very first person in the building. I know they're subscribed. They got to be subscribed because they're in the comments before the show kicks off. So let me shout out much love and respect. Vanessa in the building. Losing 6-1. I'm sure you're a happy person, Vanessa. I'm sure you're happy. It's funny because not that I've taken delight, Vanessa, and I'm going to obviously talk about the match reaction. Not that I'm going to take delight, but the fact that there's so many meltdowns at all of the clubs with their success, with their establishments, with what they've done in the off season, with how many would have touted, look at how dialed in, laser focused, locked in, whatever you want to phrase with regards to certain organizations. They're doing it right, and look at where things end up. It's a season. You're competing against other clubs. Things don't go your way. Things do go your way, but it's one of those where you don't know how this season is going to end up, despite some of the poor performances or hated results of it against your main ops, like, for example, you and Barca, us over here with United. It is what it is. Also, what was the first goal from Donnarumma is the only, is it the first goal? Yeah, the first goal from Donnarumma is the only one where I'm like, what are you doing, man? Is he not 6'5"? Why did he, if he just stands tall and puts his hands up, I'm sure he's touching the top. He's touching the crossbar. Why on that cross did he jump, legs spread, and the header between and underneath his legs? Poor. Let me shout out everybody in the building. Good looking out. I'm going to get into this match reaction. Trust me. Pass FC again. Ole. When we're passing right, and it's pass. When we're passing right, it's dangerous. All right? When we're passing right, it's dangerous. When we're passing with no intent, that's where I have an issue. And I'm one of the loudest screamers at the screen, obviously, because I'm not there. I didn't make the travel over to Bodo. I didn't do it. But when I'm looking at how we're passing it, and we don't threaten the defense, I do have issues with it, and I'm going to get into it. Trust me. Let me get through the comments real quick. Not going to lie. If we keep doing this, I want. if you're gonna want Arbello, is that how you say it? Arbello, yeah, whatever. If you want him to stay as current interim with success, makes total sense. But you're Real Madrid. You're going to be looking for the next great manager to go and do the business over there. How you blaming Donna when Max, who is at fault for the second? I'm not blaming Donnarumma. Maybe I got it messed up. Maybe I got it messed up. Was it not the first goal that there was kind of like a tackle in the box, and then the ball got crossed, and then the header went between? I think that's the only one I got issue with. All the other goals, it's not on Donnarumma. Donnarumma's been amazing. Donnarumma's been amazing. Even when we want to go back and look at the United game, Vanessa's got me thinking about Real Madrid. But even with regards to what happened versus United, I got no faults with Donnarumma, none whatsoever. House in the building. In a rebuild season with injuries, it was always going to be a roller coaster season. We're fine. We'll be okay. Listen, House, listen. I hope you got protection in these socials, my guy. I hope so. Because that level of thinking, of understanding, or let me say that level of perspective is not shared by many. It's not shared by many. Many are, what we spent for this to be the performance or results is unacceptable. Okay? I'm just letting you know. We're gonna continue to talk throughout the season. I see your perspective. I'm calm with it, and I respect it. I'm just gonna address with regards to this past game. It is a match reaction. Bodo Glimt and their result. Listen, 3-1. And a club that weren't performing well, weren't threatening, even with regards to the UCL, we made them look good. We made them look like all this talk that's happening over there, where's that coming from? Because they did that against us. Now, I'm going to discuss the 11. I'm going to discuss the performance. I'm going to discuss what the players need to fix ASAP. They need to fix it ASAP, and I'm going to discuss all of that. Good looking out, everybody in the building. Catch him. He's got the Dolphins. I see you. In the building goes, why Pep changed the way we played from transitioning football to this dinosaur football? Okay, all right. I'm going to answer that as the show progresses, and I just want everyone, as well as yourself, to please. What is so important, and it is lost, and I see it lost with my Manchester City fans when I'm in these group chats, and I'm also going to say this. I like to have the conversation on the past game. So this match reaction is on the past game. I don't get how some like to repeat the same bars for 2 years or a year now. I don't get how we've heard you say what you said for 2 years. What can we address this game? Can we address what's happening? But with regards to what happened, and I'm gonna talk about this, it's gonna reflect with regards to the timeline, because decisions are made based off of players' availability. Decisions are made based off of the opposition that's in front of you. That needs to be in perspective with regards to, why did he change this? Why didn't he just keep running the same thing? Well, again, it's different oppositions. Again, it's different players available. That's what we're gonna deal with. I'm gonna get into it. Let me put a star and start this off. Now, refer to my notes here. Oh, this one's going to be a rough one. This one is going to be a rough one. All right. So I'm sure I'm not the only one here. Okay. I can't be the only one here that looked at that 11 and was like, what's going on? Are Bodo Glimt this poor? Are they that bad that we can put this lineup out? Right? Is that the confidence that we have here? Is that the confidence that we have to put out an attack? Again, you can see what Pep has done in the past that has worked from an attack standpoint. Foden, Haaland, Shirky, we've seen that work. All right? We've seen it work. Let's kind of calm. Let's kind of calm. We've seen that work. However, the difference is there was no true winger on that pitch. There wasn't. There wasn't a Doku out on the wing. There wasn't a Savinho out on that wing. He played that without one. And Doku was on the bench. Okay? Now, in the midfield, when we got Rodri, Reinders, calm. I already know the group chat's firing off. I hope your phone was plugged in because the battery's getting drained. Complaining about Rico Lewis. He's not good enough for City. Why is he on the pitch? Why is he in this midfield? Again, hear me out. This Bodo Glimt team should be dealt with a Rico Lewis in the midfield when we also have a Shirky and a Foden that can drop back and be versatile in the midfield until we get into that final third. Okay? All right. That's my opinion. You can agree, disagree. Where we look so lax, where we do have concerns, where the club have recognized the issue and went out and got a Mark Gahey defensively is where we've had our issues and where we continue to struggle. He goes O'Reilly left back. Okay, not going to please everybody. Some are going to say O'Reilly left back, well deserved. He should be there. Some are going to say we got Ait-Nouri back. Why isn't he playing left back? Some are going to say why are you going to take an Ait-Nouri who is a left back, put at right back? I was wondering what kind of formation is Pep running. All right. I was wondering what is he doing here? Is there so much of it's not disrespect, but is there so much of a judgment of Bodo to be like, I can run this defense against them? Was that the thinking? But at the same time, we've got Max, Elaine, who's been really good for us. Yes, Young is going to have his ups and downs. I think this was a game where we had one of those downs, and we also obviously had Kosanov, who's been great. You can see him getting better with each and every game. But in terms of how they're commanding that back line, in terms of even knowing assignments when there are transitional plays and who's taking what, they're still not there yet. They're working through it. The growing pains, I got no issue with. I really don't. When we don't look consistent, when we look like the pattern of play or the patterns on how we set up defensively is still looking kind of I get it. Like was mentioned earlier, we're going to have, Captain said, we're going to have those not looking so great. This is the UCL. This was such an important game. Now, if you're looking at that back line and you're like, oh, it should have been something different. Well, let me know in the chat. I started the comments, so I'm going to come back to where I started. But let me know in the chat, who else was he supposed to put in defense? I don't want any of you telling me Ake. The ones that are true Pep out, I don't want any of you suggesting Ake should have been in that defense. We're not doing that. Y'all didn't want Ake in the defense. Well, we're not going to be like he's on the bench. He should have been there. I don't know where you're going to go with this. I really don't. And then when you want to look at the different combinations of what he could have done in the midfield, again, we didn't travel with those players to actually have that impact. So, the 11, was it done wrong? Ait-Nouri at right back is where it went wrong. Because when we were in transition, and I said this when discussing, Ait-Nouri is accustomed to being on the left side of the pitch. The way he probably checks for danger, looks over his shoulder, it's probably so routine, so instinctful, it's automatic. So many times we are out of position. So many times. And that doesn't just fall on Nori. But defensively is where we need to fix up as a club. And again, I'm also one of the most, if I'm not one of, I might, if I'm not the of, I'm one of. And again, I, I'm one of the most patient fans you're going to come across. This performance was unacceptable. Don't get it twisted. Don't hear me differently. It was unacceptable. Is it the end of the world? Only if you think that the manager and the players won't improve. I happen to think that what I've seen glimpses of in previous games, I'm going to see again. This got done completely wrong. And when I look at how we were set up, I'm like, we were set up good enough to beat this team. Let's not get it wrong. We had more talent on that pitch to beat this team, right? Haaland alone, with regards to his attack, should have been more than enough to do it, right? But now when you look at how were we executing with the talent that we had, and this is where, when it was talked about early in the chat, the dinosaur ball that was referenced, right? Why are we reverting back to not being direct? I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer of that, but I do know that that's the combination that needs to be rediscovered. Because if we're going to have a defense that we can't quite trust to be able to read the transition well, right? If we're going to have a midfield that probably can't keep up with the pace of going to and from, like to on the attack from now coming back and defend. If we don't have that, then we need to adjust things. I said this when I was featured on Sarcasm City TV. Shout out to my man Flawless. Now listen, here's where the coaching staff, not just Pep, coaching staff in its entirety, because we all do this. Everyone does. After a game, you assess what happened, what went well, what didn't go well, what worked, what needs to be tweaked, what can be refined, what was okay. Yeah, we see that. We're going to do that again. Now, if teams with lesser quality to City can set up a defensively mid-block, surrender some possession, but pick certain players that will be part of, they receive the ball, they're the ones to make the decisions on how they counter, how they go into attack, we can do the same thing. We have the quality to do what teams, quote unquote, of lesser quality can do. And we've shown to do it. We just haven't shown to do it consistently enough. Now, when it's talked about, why aren't we being more direct? Why aren't we balls over the top? I'm in agreement. I said this after the United game. In the United game, when you have the Butcher, when you have Maguire, I would have loved to see a few more, not even a few, a lot more attempts to either go very direct on the ground or aerially. Let Haaland get into a little bit of a tussle. Let him get those shoulder. Remember those shoulder barges or those little pushes that Haaland. Let's see him do that and where it can end up. Have the defenders have to maybe burn a tire, right? Maybe have one of them have to do something like that in terms of defending against us. This is where other teams that don't have what we have and what they execute, we can obviously mirror and do better. Right? And if we don't have the pace in the midfield to go back and forth, then maybe we leave that to the forwards. And again, I don't know. I will not claim to know more than you. I'm not. I'm giving y'all my opinion. And please, if you happen to be in any conversations where others want to downplay what you have to say, they want to discredit you, we're all just giving opinions here. No one's no footballing expert, because if you were a footballing expert, you wouldn't be in this group chat talking with me. You wouldn't be in this channel talking with me. We need to just respect the difference of opinions, and we're all waiting to see what happens next for the club like everybody else. Some are predicting the worst. Some are hopeful for the best. But no one is. The funny thing is, those that are hopeful aren't predicting that it's going to be good. They're hopeful for it. But the other side are predicting that it's going to be bad. There's no, it might be bad. They're predicting it's going to be bad. So I'm going to leave that for another time. But how we are playing, and we've shown to be direct, this is why I'm also a lot more calmer to being like, the loss of Gavardiol and Diaz, obviously, obviously, the loss of Gavardiol and Diaz would have shifted what Pep and the coaching staff would want to do defensively. Okay? So that's going to change. That's going to change in itself. Also, if we're going to have a balanced conversation, we just got a result versus Newcastle, and prior to the result versus Newcastle, y'all, and I'm talking y'all that were already upset, y'all were saying that result was going to happen. And let me go back. Let me walk that back a little more. When we had that poor performance versus Leverkusen, everybody losing their mind, saying the season's over then, and we were not supposed to. They said we were not getting a result versus Real Madrid, and we got a result versus Real Madrid. This is why it's like, guys, it's terrible right now. Terrible result. I'm upset. But let's see them work this out, because we're going to be better off as a club, manager, and players for them to work this out. It's not chuck them, get rid of these guys. It's the guys that are able to improve throughout this are going to be better for us being winners moving forward. I know, listen, the game-wise, and let me go back to the 3 goals that we surrendered, unacceptable. 3 goals that we surrendered is fault on the midfield and the defense. Now, as I say that with regards to the goals we surrendered, the goals we scored, again, for us to score, we need to be brave. We need to be brave with how we score these goals. O'Reilly getting that position, being a little cheeky, his touch is amazing, puts that off for Shirky, and Shirky takes his shot, scores. We need to do that more. And when I say do, what I mean by do that more is we need to take our shots more. We're getting into dangerous positions, and sometimes we're in dangerous positions. You can see it before we even get into the 18-yard box. We're passing the ball around, and this is me, and I'm going to have to do. How am I going to do this? I'm going to make sure I take timestamps on how I do this. And I want to take note, because I'm like, listen, I know people are frustrated and tired of the pass. I am too. Pass with no intent is a waste of time, right? But when we're passing the ball, and I don't know if it's the players with regards to sight lines not recognizing this, but there's times when we pass and we don't need to switch it just yet. We see that the defense are already kind of locked in. They're already programmed where they're already running to the other side of the pitch. Let's disguise like we are, because they're so familiar with our pattern, and come back to it, and we have cutting passes that can lead through. I'm going to timestamp it so that it can be explained, because we're not as terrible as it seems, as it looks, because it's kind of like a few cues and we're back to doing what we've been doing. It wasn't so long ago that we were creating all of the chances necessary. We just didn't have our shooting boots on. Now we got to deal with this defense, and from a club standpoint, I'm glad that they're not taking their time with anything. They're like, defensively, we got issues. Gehi, we got you. Attack-wise, we were like, creating so many opportunities. We weren't scoring goals. Not wasting any time either. The club, that many are like, they've gotten so lax. The club reacted again in Jan and got Semenyo. This is why I'm like, listen, fix up. And it's going to take time. Let me see where I'm catching up with y'all, because the funny thing is, when things are going bad, it's a laundry list of things that need to get discussed and addressed. So let me try to catch up. All right. Y'all were going through these comments quick. I got asked, Vanessa wants to know also, where do you think City finish in the UCL? In my opinion, 5th or 6th. Listen, we're at home versus Galatasaray. we're winning that game. I haven't done the math to be like if everybody else wins and we win, where we end up. I think that alone we're top 8. I think based off of how it plays out, I think if we win, we're top 8. So we got to get that done. I could be wrong, but I think we're calm with that. Catch him in the building. What I want to know is the rebuild built for Pep or for someone else? Because the profiles don't seem to fit a Pep style for me. So, Ketchum, I'm going to say this real quick. It's a myth about this Pep profile, Pep style thing. It's a myth. Because that was said at the time of acquiring even the likes of Holland, when we got Holland. So, to be honest with you, even when we got Akanji, it was like, is that a Pep style player? We look at moving forward with regards to who we've acquired. This has to be, and long answer for a short question, this has to be a purchase for Pep to execute as well as the next, because Pep's only here for another season after this one. The club's not making 2-year signings. They're making signings for players beyond Pep. So I think it's a somewhat of a management with regards to the core as well as the future with regards to the players that and the player profiles. Because even from a age standpoint, right? You look at it, Bernardo, yeah, he's the older player. But when you look across the board, many are like Donnarumma, Haaland, and Foden, like they're 25 years, 25, 26, right? Okay, all right. We got Kosanov. I mean, not Kosanov. Kovacic is on the older side. We got Rodri. But I'm talking about the majority of the team is a young team. The majority of the team is for the manager after Pep. Everybody that are Pep out, you're going to get your wishes. Just, you got to wait one more season. You got to wait one more season. Vanessa, also, where is Holland at, bro? I barely see the guy. Holland needs to chill. Holland needs to reset. Holland, Foden. I said, guys, after the game, get your sauna, get your massage, get your therapy, whatever. Have your recovery. Go out, enjoy a nice meal, talk football, get on the same page, have some synergy, do some more of your warm-ups together. Y'all need to get linked up. Y'all need to be almost telepathic with what needs to happen out here. And what I saw in a derby, unacceptable. What I saw versus lesser competition on UCL, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Man City losing to a Norwegian team. And is this true? Breaking: Manchester City players are reimbursed. Yeah. And I'm all for it. The fans that made the trip out there deserve to be reimbursed. And to what I like about it, when you really deep it, these players are showing accountability for the performance that they put out there. They're coming out of their pocket. Yeah, okay. Oh, it means nothing. They're millionaires. They came out of their pocket to reimburse fans that made that trip out there, because from an accountability standpoint, player and manager, like, we weren't good enough. Y'all didn't deserve it. To think that this club does not think about the fan base, I respect the move. I respect what they did. Teal in the building. We ain't winning silverware this season. You can have that opinion, Teal. Teal, you can have that opinion. I'm not with you. We're in a semifinal, and we had a clean sheet 2-0 victory versus Newcastle, which many, I'm sure you weren't even expecting. Listen. I say this all the time. There are fans that would have never, listen, all of us on this YouTube, social media platforms. Let me be real with you. Because I don't do this, but I know fans that do. You're watching the game, you're disappointed with the performance, you turn it off. Right? I'm not one, Teal. I'm not one. But I know there are fans that turn off the game. I'm not happy with how my team's playing. I'm out. They're not even supporting by watching it or even multitasking. They're not even watching the game. They turn the game off. There are fans that obviously will walk out of a stadium not happy. I'm telling you. No one will be honest, Teal. No one will be honest. All right? But those that happen to be, and I'm going to say, you know what? All us fans that were fans before the Aguero moment, 93-20. All of us fans, trust me, all of us fans, going into that game, how that game played out, Teal, I'm not accusing you. If the shoe fits, you got to wear it. But there would have been, and we know there are fans that would have given up and not seen the Aguero moment. Fans that want to say we ain't winning silverware, I'm writing off this season, it's done, I'm checked out. Okay. There's gonna be fans like that. I just happen to not be one of them. I'm not. It's too early for me to do all that. But if you want to claim that, that's cool. If you know what, I'm gonna try and clip this up because you know how I got my earmuff clip. I'm gonna try and clip this up. There's a scene in one of the Spider-Mans, the new remake one, where I'm actually terrible with these character names, but MJ, I'm assuming. I think MJ, she has this line where it's like, I just expect the worst because it protects me, and I have no expectations because it protects me when things go wrong. Whatever, I'm butchering the line. But fans move like that. Fans are rather, oh, this is a disaster, this sucks, and then anything else is bonus. I'm seeing us still getting silverware. I'm seeing this form improving. Yeah, I believe it's true. All right, let me try to catch up here. Teal goes, how are we struggling with Rodri? This system stinks. Well, we're struggling because of a few factors. We're not scoring, and we're not being threatened. Now, let me actually talk about the attack. There's having possession and manipulating the defense, how you move the ball, how you are on the pitch, right? How you're shaped can influence the defense. But then you can be influenced by the defense, and I feel like right now, how we move the ball around, defenses are calm. Defenses know, oh, if the ball is here on the pitch, I got nothing to worry about. There is no threat here. We need to change that. Where the expectation can't be, oh, it's only coming from the wide. It's only coming from the wing play. It also, at the same time, can't be like, oh, when it's only on Shirky's foot, here's where we need to worry about. Other players need to be that threatening as well. That, the system-wise, from to a man, needs to change. Let me talk to my girl DC in the building. DC goes, what a class move by the players to refund. Trust me. These players know that they messed up. These players know that they screwed up big time against Bodo Glimt. How do they look so bad? And how do they not respond after that defeat to United? These players know, listen, I got you. My bad. Y'all paid your well-earned money. We're reimbursing you. Did he rest players for... Nah, man. Nobody's rested for the Wolves game. Obviously, suspension, registration, I think all of that kind of plays. I think we're going to see a lot stronger team versus Wolves. We're going to see a lot stronger team versus Galatasaray. And then we've got Spurs next. So the rest ain't there. Hey, let's be critical. Let's look at this manager and let's look at pardon me. Let's look at everything that's done and how we set up. This is why I'm also balanced. Listen, if we poor performance end up going win, and I got to see it first, but we go win Wolves, win Galatasaray, win Spurs, I'm kind of like, all right, Pep, I know why weren't you doing this before? Everything would have been calm, but all right, let's go. So game by game. This game I'm mad frustrated with because I haven't made it through rewatching it yet. It happened yesterday. I haven't rewatched it yet. But I got to put an emphasis on Pep and how he managed. It was poor because the Ait Nori, I'm kind of wondering, even the shape, I was kind of questioning. And at the very least, okay, if we're going to have these players, let's change up how much we choose or how we choose to attack them, right? We can't do the same. Oh, they're not moving. They're not even moving. They're not even changing shape the way we're moving this ball. Let's change something up, right? Especially when we have some movement. And again, I think hear me out. Not a false nine. I'm not talking false nine. But when I see Holland, and he doesn't do this enough, but when I see Holland move out of position, and then there's a gap for said midfielder, in examples I saw with regards to Foden. All right, send it over top. You know Foden's got a nice touch. Maybe Foden one time, maybe give something for Holland to run onto. We need to change up. We need to change up. Listen, big up Vator in the chat. DC, you know what it is. Thank you so very much. Hit that like button. Appreciate you being here. It's only going to get tougher. It's only going to get tougher from here. I got in the building. All right, guys, relax. We're not fighting here. I just thought Vanessa was a guy. Let's listen. What? Listen. I respect let's chill and move past it. All right? I respect that. MCFC. Yes, everyone smash the like and subscribe. Now, if you haven't, I don't know what more needs to be said. Please subscribe. It's kind of like if you want to have the tough conversations, if you actually enjoy my delusion, if you happen to want to even converse and be like, Vader, here's why you're wrong, we're calm with that. Subscribe, because with you subscribing, you'll know I'm working out, because again, I know it's difficult to type your thoughts out, right? And obviously for me to kind of keep pace with what I want to say in the comments, it sometimes it doesn't really translate. I can't really keep up with everything said as I have things to say myself. Subscribe so that my future call-in show, which is going to be my call-in show, is going to be a call-out show. All right? I'm working on the branding right now. If you see anyone cop that, you know where they got it first. But my call-in show is going to be a call-out show. All right? Call in. Call me out. Call in. Call out topics. Call out posts, right? Call out certain angles, narratives, agendas, and we'll discuss it. My call-in show will be a call-out show, and we're going to do that moving forward, so please subscribe. Man United is playing in the UCL next season. Vanessa, what are we doing here? Don't do that. Don't do that. That means United are going to finish 5th or better. I can't see it. I can't see it. I don't know. Ketchum, I don't know why he played. I think there's a level of disrespect on how threatening Bodo were, and I kind of get it. But not only must you think attack, you must think defensively. And we committed way too many forward. Actually, let me take this back. I had Nori tracking back and getting back. Now, he didn't get there in time, but what I saw in terms of that willingness, that ability, he's going to be nice for us. He's going to be good for us. If City do sack Pep, who are they going to sign? Nah, never. Not even a chance. Who we sign doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter who we sign next. It could be an interim manager. Doesn't matter. They're going to have a tough first year, tough 2 years. I can already see it. This fan base has changed. It's changed a lot. Listen, this all eras come to an end. This all eras come to an end, of course. Predicting that Pep isn't going to be the best forever is kind of easy. That's standard. No one remains at the top forever. Also, to point this out too, is Pep obviously had his contract that would have had him initially seen last season as his last season. He's made a commitment to be like, I'm here for another 2 years. So this is the first of the 2 years that he's going to remain here. his era is going to come to an end next season. And for next season to be 11 years at the club, I might be mistaken, but for him to do 11 years at the club and everything that he's delivered, and if his 11 years at the club has us possibly not ending it with a Prem or UCL, I think he did more than enough to set us up for the next manager, right? To hand off, to kind of not have us in a disaster mode like some managers have left other clubs, but to work things out with regards to certain players to bring in, certain at the same time this falls on Pep in terms of getting the players that he's won with out the door as well. And it's a by Pep, by players that have been part of the mix, welcome in new manager, welcome in a different core. All right. Architect the next move. The air is going to come to an end, and it was always going to happen. Steve in the building. We will see better after this weekend and as the players start to return. Some don't want to hear that, Steve. Some in this TikTok, Instagram, microwave, everything needs to happen right now, don't want to hear it. But I agree. We see Ait-Nouri, who was talked about. Why isn't he playing? Pep has his favorites. Well, Ait-Nouri got played. All right? He got played. Mind you, he got played at right back, but he got played. Marmoush has already touched the pitch again, and I think the whole talk about, Marmoush isn't going to play, we're going to get another repeat of players not happy, want to move on. Marmoush has kind of like only done a year here. He came in Jan last year. He's like technically only been here for a year. He had AFCON, which I think Pep respected tremendously for Ait-Nouri and Marmoush. Now that that's over, I think these guys get their run. With Holland, Semenyo, Marmoush, with Shirky, Cam, and Rodri, Rico, O'Reilly as two midfielders. Okay, so you're gonna and Nunes, Kosanov, Gehi, and Ait-Nouri, and Donnarumma in between the sticks. This team fits transition football. It's a fair point. Now it does suit transition football. At the same time, we can't have the only creative options in possession to fall onto Shirky. O'Reilly, we'll see what he can do. He's been nice in moments. But that team's calm. That team's calm when you also think of options that can come on as well, right? You can change the game up with the Doku. You can change the game up with a Foden. When you look at the club and what they're trying to get to, it kind of makes sense to me. I'm catching up on these comments. Apologies for being a little late with some of them. Holland on his own. I mean, no player can beat 11, but I hear what you're saying, man. Michael, Vator, please note the defense is not the... calm down here. The defense is part of the issue, but I'll hear you out. If you look, the attacker not scoring, if we score 3 goals or more, we would win all of our 3 matches. Yeah, obviously if you outscore, you could, but if you also don't concede, this is the thing. I think the performance versus United and Bodo Glimt, I'm just going to refer to those two. Those are fresh. Those have been the last 2 games. We were so lame. We were so overly laxed. We had no threatening or not enough threatening moments in our attack. I hear you. But then when you look at us surrendering 2 goals and possibly a lot more versus United, and we surrender 3, again, attack needs to improve, but this defense, there's a reason why the club went to address the attack and the defense. Semenyo and Gehi are 2 players for that exact reason. I see y'all. I'm falling way behind in the comments. Graham goes, Vator, you can have lesser quality, but you have to exceed the opposition's facts. Graham, facts. The Derby is a great example of that. Have a look at the total running stats for last night and last Saturday. Bodo effort last night exceeded City, but they overran us by 10K. I did not know that stat, but I'm with you. I'm with you. The quality, and I say this to listen. I got a young prince that I'm trying to make king, right? And I tell him, you've got the talent, but your talent not matching the work rate of who you're going up against means nothing. Your talent going up to someone who's training on the regular means nothing. So on the day, I hated how United outplayed us. And they outplayed us because they were getting to everything before us, right? And the same thing happened with Bodo Glimt. I wish it was one or the other. I wish we saw max effort in one of those two games, and we didn't see it for either. I'm mad frustrated with that. We are weak in midfield. He gets bullied. Can he strengthen up? 100%. We saw Florian Wirtz improve with him, how he was getting bullied off the ball. I think Reinders can get there as well. He needs to strengthen up, I agree. If Nico G's back ASAP, yeah. I ain't lying either. Nico G, who, again, Pep's not going to play him. Why is Pep not trusting him? Pep developed him, got him to the point where he locked in. He's good to go. Played him. He's injured. And now look at how much we need him back. And he got his playing time. Pep doesn't write off players unless a substantial amount of time shows that they're not quality enough. So Reinders, I think he'll fix up. It'd be good. Nico G, who many questioned would not play for Pep, was so intricate and important. He'll be back, and I think we look a lot better. But yeah, our midfield is weak right now. And our midfield, funny enough, our midfield need, and I'm going to refer to what Graham mentioned earlier, we need workers. I don't want to hear this player isn't City quality enough, right? From a technical ability standpoint, okay, throw all that out. Throw all this, this Pep style player or the technical ability, throw all that out when you can see that players that don't have the technical ability can still put in a job. Can still, have the mentality, have the physicality, have the effort to get the job done. There was so much talked about, Morgan Gibbs-White, I don't want him anywhere near my club. All he does is run. Guess what we need here? Guess what we need at City? We needed players that, they're not top echelon, top tier quality in terms of technical ability, but what they do in terms of being in a high percentage, in terms of work rate, would mean a world of difference. Because players know, you know what? My task is, I'm probably not going to be on the final end of a lot of these goal scoring opportunities. I'm probably not going to be on the final end to be that creator, but I'm going to carry the water for the club. I'm going to be part of winning these trophies. That is needed. Not everyone's going to be the superstar goal scorer. Not everyone's going to be that flair, that creative one. There's going to be others that need to carry put in the hard work. Morgan Gibbs-White, he's not good enough for us. Jude Bellingham, he doesn't have the quality. You know what Jude does? Better than what I've seen many do? He works his butt off. And not only in possession, off the ball as well. Now, if you want to talk attitude, that's a whole different conversation. But we need players at the club. When we had that midfield superiority, we had that balance. We had, obviously, technical ability, we had it. Being able to put in that work, we had it. We're trying to find it again. It's going to be hit or miss. We're going to try and find that again. But they're not good enough for City quality. I'm done with that. I was hearing that about Declan Rice. Declan Rice isn't good enough for City. And this is supposed to be a match reaction. Doing a match reaction, talking for 50 minutes, and I'm addressing everything else but the match. With regards to also, let me say this, taking it back to the match. Pep is embarrassed. I've been listening to the press conference. To say that Bodo Glimt deserved to win, that's an embarrassment. This is a manager that does not want to have these conversations. Players, to a T, and it was said earlier, the fact that they're reimbursing the fan base, they know they messed up. We better see, and it's going to be like night and day, we better see a complete switch up. We better see a complete switch up and witness maxed, and again, I know it's Wolves, relax, but we better see no one being outworked versus Wolves. Versus Wolves, no City player should be outworked by any Wolves player, and we got to take that into Galatasaray. That's what I'm expecting to see. Marvin, I'm not sure it Wolves is a win at this point. Dark times, Marvin. If you don't think Wolves is a win at this point at home, dark times. Wolves will be beat. Facts, Steve. If we don't beat Wolves, and I mean beat Wolves, a draw is not good enough. Okay, now listen. Barring something crazy like we get injuries to players or something like that, but if we don't beat Wolves, all we can hope for, if we don't beat Wolves, we got to write off the Prem. Okay? We got to write off the Prem. Unless, again, I'm so much of an optimistic. I can't help myself, right? I can't help myself. When I get to 5K subs, I'm going to let you know, because my athletic past has me very optimistic, all right? I'm just built that way. That you got to have that reinforcement to battle through injury, to battle through some painful training sessions. You got to have that mentality to be like, you know what, this is where I want to get to in terms of things. But if I can't believe I'm saying this, if we happen to drop points versus Wolves and Arsenal go out and drop points, I can't lie to you, I'm still gonna be like, I'm gonna like dumber and dumber. There's a chance. You're telling me this? Okay, let me stop. Listen, Teal in the building. He goes, Maresca as interim manager to save our season. Pep ain't walking away. We're not letting Pep go. Pep's gonna get this. Maresca can be the manager next. All those rumors that were happening over at Chelsea that they didn't like with regards to Maresca having conversations. Maresca, come on over. Post Pep, absolutely. Your time's over, mate. Oil Club back to mid-lower table when they know foreign glory hunter fans following them like you, mate. Listen, you don't know my past. I see you put the laughing faces at the end, so I'm taking it as a joke. But listen, the it's over. You're saying that prematurely. We're second in the. What's this mid-table stuff? What is this mid-table stuff? If I keep looking, and Stefan, if I keep looking and I see Liverpool fans spend $5 million in one transfer window, not over a year, spend $500 million in one transfer window, and they want their manager out. If I see Spurs fan get a new manager, always want him out in 4 months. If I see Chelsea fans with how they've gotten rid of Maresca and they bring in their in-house, coaching tree. If I see United getting rid of their manager, who am I missing? If I see all of that, and the only stable one right now is Arsenal, things are kind of calm. Things are calm. There's no overreacting over here. Everyone is in disarray. Everyone has no patience. It's calm. And the glory hunters, I don't know who you represent. I don't know what your who you support, but you're gonna accuse me of glory hunting, and you're doing this. All right. See these fingers here? These fingers, they're pointing right back at you. So, to each his own. Where are we at? Where are we at? Teal, what are you saying, Teal? Why play a stupid high line if we don't have the defenders for it? To be honest with you, Max is quick. O'Reilly is quick. Kostinov is quick. Ait Nori is quick. When you want to talk high line, we defensive line, we do have the players to do it. Now the decision making, the ball control, that's another story. I think it was poor. It's poor on Max. I'm not going to kill him for it. Midfielder wise, that's where you got me. Midfielder wise, I think we need to have that better spacing between the back line, midfield, and attack. And I kind of understand pushing up to kind of keep things congested, but if anything goes over top, the defenders got to be able to keep up. We were off. We were poor. We were playing a 2-3-5, but Rodrigo comes back. Pep goes back to the system where we were 1-14. I think you're making that a little. I think you're oversimplifying it. But I do think that what Pep has done system-wise with Rodri versus with Nico G aren't too dissimilar, but having someone in the midfield like we've seen in a Bernardo Silva or at times a Reinders being very close in terms of support for Nico G, we're not seeing that with Rodri. And maybe there's an over-trust on how Rodri would read the game and be able to deal with those dangers. But yeah, we're going to be in the mix. Or Pep's going to be in the mix of having the right combination amongst that. All right, where are we at? Graham in the building. Breaking news: according to City, players, the reimbursement is last night just been announced. I love it. I love it. Quality club, quality players. In a bad stint right now, but quality always shines. Teal goes, Gundogan is going to bury City. You're crazy. Yo, Miami in the building. You know what it is. Good looking out. Good looking out. Wants to say, as bad as things are, there's still an opportunity to turn things around. True, but the realists or the pessimists don't want to hear that. In all competence, the question is, we will. The question is whether we will turn things around. Do we have the ability to? Have we been showing it in moments and not as consistent as we should? Yes. So that is why there's so much frustration. That's why so many fans are like, what is happening here? Where is the keep it the same. Let's rock it until it's broken. And it broke. We'll see where we get at. All right, what do we got? And listen, we've seen a lot worse. Many. Hey, you want to, what's the word? You want to assume, all right? You want to predict that the City fans, or me in particular, only know City in terms of the good times. You couldn't be so wrong. And I think when you want to look at how, I'm going to refer to myself in the third person. How is Vator so patient? How is he so okay with kind of like what's happening here? Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. I'm not okay with it. I just don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think that it's set to not change. That's the thing. When I witnessed, when I was part of what I never thought would happen with regards to the club's success, when I thought things were kind of locked in, like that same thing, I thought things were locked in where it couldn't be at the heights of where it was. I can't then take that thinking and being like, I can't see us getting back to it. Because I didn't imagine it were to happen, so I know that we won't. It doesn't mean we're getting stuck here. I can see us getting better from here. Right? So if I was truly a glory hunter, I would be losing my mind. I would think that, okay, this means that the club's done. Success is never coming again. I saw us bad where actually, being honest with you, I felt the ways repping Manchester City, right? I felt the ways, for example, not wanting to reveal your kit or not wanting to say which club you support, I get that. Like, that's how I know. That's how I know this club, right? So it's not as bad as it seems. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not as bad as it seems. At goes, we got Gahey and Kosanov, and Nunez is back. We better win versus Wolves. If Nunez is back versus Wolves, that brings a lot of confidence. Will be great to see how the back line responds. And yeah, Gahey getting a shot would be great. Absolutely great. Good looking out, everybody in the building. Hit that like button if you haven't. I'm trying to catch up with these comments. I am way behind this match reaction review, and I'm talking way longer than I planned to. But I do want to bring these comments up so I can show the respect. You guys took the time to be in here. So for some of the ones that have been going back and forth here, what do we got here? DCHC. He used to dream to be as we are today. What did I miss? What did I miss? House in the building, 100% DC. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. What do we see here? Oh, Mancunian Way is in the building. Shout out to Man Martin. He goes, just want to say hello. See y'all on Monday when I'm back. Yeah, shout out to, I'm sure everybody in the chat should be subscribed to the Mancunian Way, but he did a post. He's got a deal. Unfortunately, hey, prayers, best of wishes to you and the fam. I know you got to deal with some things, and the channel's going to be managed with your team, so we won't be seeing you for a while. But he goes, I'm back. Please be kind to each other. Heartbroken over something sent and heard to each other. This fan base is broken beyond repair, and it breaks me. The fan base ain't broken beyond repair. I know it's rough to see how people are during difficult times, but it's very consistent with how people are in general. There are people that deal with difficult times in a certain way and others that don't, and I think we'll be fine. I think what I would encourage everybody, no one is making you interact with them. All right? If you're in any type of environment where you're like, listen, I'm not being paid to be here, right? Like, I'm not paying to be here either. Like, there's nothing coming out of my pocket. I haven't invested in it. If there's anything that is being said to you where it's like not being shown of respect, remove yourself from it, or remove those that are affecting you that way from it. This is a sport that we all love. This is a club that we all love. If some aren't helping with that love for you, then change your environment, is my opinion. Steve, shark fermented or main road toilets, no choice. No choice. That is wild. Stephen HD, I thought our 2011 FA Cup was our Mount Everest. Listen. If that was going to be the it and all for I don't want to say a lifetime, but if that was going to be the it and all, especially on who won it for us, how that season played out, I mean, we'd be bantered right now, but it was something not imagined either. It's something not imagined. I could have died happy then. Everything afterwards is just icing on the cake. It's been a huge, tremendous, ginormous cake, which amazing, not too sweet icing, the right amount of layers, right? It's been tremendous. All right, where we at? Oh, yo, Trouble in the building, large up. Everyone's saying big up to Martin. DC goes, Martin, please take good care and reach out if you need support. Oh, good looking out, DC. Good looking out, DC. Dre P in the building, my guy. Question, why are City back to playing possession-based football and not more on the counter? It's a great question. It is a great question. I want to see more of a combination for it. I want to see it to be situational, JP. I want to see, okay, Donnarumma, maybe he makes a save, maybe he got possession. I want him looking up. Okay, here's where we can do the counter. We can be quick. Here's where, oh, you know what? Didn't have the opportunity. The defense line they've set themselves up. Let's see how we break them down. I want to see that, because one thing that I've noticed in the past, everyone close your eyes, think about Manchester City. When we would have possession, we'd get in that final third, doesn't quite look good, we'd pass it to maybe the halfway line, the defending team would kind of press up, we'd pass it back to the keeper, and they would continue to press up. Teams don't do that anymore. Teams don't fall for the, oh, they're going to follow us into our half, into our defensive side, for us to then pass through them and go forward. They stay in their mid-block. They stay in their mid-block, ready to retreat in the low block. We need to kind of fix things up. There's not always going to be the opportunity where we can surrender possession and then catch them on the counter. We need a right combination of the two. And I think, I'll be honest, Drapey, I think we need to find more of what we do in the final third when defenses are locked up. What is going to be the pattern of play to put them under pressure? Maybe we don't get the numerical advantage, but we get a movement. We get a player either cutting the path of a defender, or we get something drawn where we create issues for the defense to have to think about things. We're not doing enough of that. I'm not sure where we go, though. Olu in the building. Vator, just pass the torch over to Arsenal. Your watch is over. Listen, we had a social contract with Liverpool. The City pool was supposed to be City win it, Liverpool win it. City win it, Liverpool win it. Now, when we won 2 in a row, kind of expected, okay, Liverpool, y'all, you win your 1. We'll go back. We'll win 1, 2. We didn't expect City to go and win 4. You know what I mean? We went and won 4. We won 2, took a break, then went and won 4. We took another break. Liverpool win 1. We didn't expect Liverpool to only take one season. We took a break. We expected them to. How are they not battling you guys longer? 1 season, and now we're left to have to recoup and get back to winning ways. It's nonsense. It's crazy. But we're gonna do what we can. Listen, Olu, if Arsenal keep keeping the door open, it's not as wide open as it used to be, because we are only 2 points behind. That was really wide open. Now the window is kind of closing a little bit. But if y'all keep matching our drop points with your drop points, don't let us get close. Don't let us get close again. Yeah, bless up, large up, everybody. Prayers to Martin and the fam. Martin goes on to say, thank you all. I'm always available for those who know how to get me. Just family first at the moment, and social media become too toxic right now. Best I avoid. Love the true, real ones. You're always in my heart. You know, I respect that. Anything discomfort, in my opinion, you don't have to waste time on it. People that are only respectful during good times ain't a true representation of who they are. So manage accordingly. Damn, that's work calling. Listen, my peeps, apologies on the abrupt departure, but we've been doing this for over an hour now. I'm gonna have to deal with that. Listen, let me also point out, those of you taking part in the comments, and I know I fell behind. Twisted, I see you in the building. Good looking out. Who else am I missing here? Out. What's going on here? City problem is that we don't have our main defenders, and we're playing with kids. Ake can't play all. Yeah, he can't play. And he is injury prone. Listen, the club know what the issues are. Some will argue they're not reacting quick enough. They haven't. They've been papering over cracks or whatever. On a lengthy And maybe on my call-in show where we call things out, we're going to have a convo about it. Please subscribe, be a part of what I do moving forward. I want to apologize for the abrupt end to the show. I see y'all in the comments. I will be back. We'll have conversations again. Like a press conference, I got to do it like Pep does it. And I got to end it walking out on you guys. Love, subscribe, like, conversation continues. We will fix up. We need to, or else this season is longer than it needs to be. But last 2 performances, unacceptable. We have the quality. We need to match the effort. And we need to do it fast. That's manager and player. And I'm out.